Hi everybody, Storm Tracker 2 digital meteorologist Bobby Corster with you here in the Weather Center. I want to talk Central Oregon snow for just a few minutes. Obviously, we are under an area of high pressure. It's windy out toward the gorge, windy in Portland, but no snow in the forecast for at least the next 7 days, maybe even a little bit further than that, but we will get to that point in a minute. I love to spend time in Sunriver. It's one of my favorite places on earth. Same with Black Butte Ranch, the Bend area, Sisters area. It is just an incredible place, but every year I track snow at Sunriver, and I use two data points. First is at the Sunriver Homeowners Association, and then the second one is at the official location at the planetarium, and these records are all available online. Every winter when we look at it, we're comparing El Niño, La Niña, and ENSO neutral years. In the last 40 years, the records go back to 1985. The average depth for La Niña winters in Sunriver, total snowfall, 70.76 inches. Conversely, El Niño significantly less, about 20 inches less, averaging just under 51 inches for those winters. Now, what about total snowfalls? How many have we seen? Since the last 40 years when these records have been kept, there have been 15 La Niña winters, 13 El Niño winters. Conversely, there have been 12 neutral years where it's not either El Niño or La Niña. In the years that are the ENSO neutral years, they average 62.92 inches of snow. So very similar, and kind of cut that median in half between what you see with El Niño, La Niña. That's where you get your ENSO years. Now, looking at the total snowfall so far this year, it's been bleak, 6.5 inches total. It's the fourth driest January to date, and again, we still have about 2 weeks left. It was the seventh driest December. The driest winter was 1991 into 1992, 13.8 inches fell. That year, you had respectable snowfalls in November and January with 5.4 inches in November, 6.4 in January, and then after the January, it just cut off. Something that's very interesting, the following winter, 1992 into 1993, was the single biggest snowfall year for Sunriver. They had 144 inches of snow that year. Going through looking at November, December, all the way through, 6.6 inches fell in November, 50.9 in December. January brought 45.1, 31.4 in January, in February. By the time we got to March, 8 inches fell. They had 2.2 inches of snowfall in April. So that's how you get your 144 inches. When we look at El Niño and La Niña and ENSO neutral years, it's broken up, as we said. We had the 15 La Niña years. Of those 15, 10 of them are above the average. The average snowfall in Sunriver for all years is 60.6 inches. 10 of those years where we had the La Niña, we were above that threshold. Only 5 were below. And the 5 that were below, we're still averaging close to about 45 inches. When we get to El Niños significantly bring a lot less snow. It was an El Niño year in 91 and 92 when the 13.8 inches fell. Of the 13 El Niño years, only 5 of them are above that average mark of 60.6. And of the slight totals that we have seen, the lowest end of the top 7, you have 5 of those are El Niño years, and 2 of them are ENSO neutral years. So you've seen significantly less snowfall in El Niño years than you generally do in La Niña years. Now, ENSO neutral years are interesting because while they are few and far between, there are a total of 12 of them, it's equally spaced out between above and below that 60.6 inch threshold. So yes, you have a better chance of seeing big snow in ENSO neutral years, but you really have the best chance for seeing snow in La Niña years. So let's look forward. What about what's coming down the pipe? Start this out this morning. Temperatures are in the mid 40s in some areas, lower 40s other places. Area of cold air is making its way into the Great Lakes, and that's going to get really cold. We saw temperatures right there in Minneapolis and Chicago and Detroit below freezing. Continue to put the map into motion as we get into Wednesday and Thursday next week. So now we're 1 week out from where we are now. Temperatures Friday, cold, maybe near freezing, but we're really looking for an area of colder air above us to the north to kind of move down. Finally, maybe by Sunday and Monday of the following week, so 10 days out, we could maybe finally see some really cold air making its way. Models have hinted at it, but models have done that before and then have quickly changed solutions, and we have stayed either warm and dry or kind of cold and wet mountain snow, but nothing in the valley. So that's what we're looking at as we go forward from this weekend into next in terms of when are we going to get snow back here in the Pacific Northwest. Hope you guys have a great day. It's going to be beautiful out there this weekend. Get out and enjoy it if you can.